Hey everyone, it's Jeannie from A1 and I'm getting ready to do my homework for sending holiday wishes, which is, isn't this adorable, which is one of the mini quilts that make up a Quilty Little Christmas wall gallery. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is my fabric. This is a piece of leftover glitter that was in my stash. And we're gonna, I know it looks like two different designs, but it's one. This is gonna be called Stamps, and we're gonna quilt with linen. We're gonna quilt before, not after. I made a mistake on all of these, and I'm going to be using my 7x12 hoop. So I already went ahead and I had a big piece, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to put my design in there. I'm going to scoot it up and left, and then I will rehoop. So that I'm in my 7x12 magnetic hoop. This is the one with the low profile magnets, and I'm going to go slide this onto my machine. So let's do that first. And let's come on over here and let's load our design. As far as colors go, I'm going to be using, here we go. Here's my tray with my colors. Let's see, what are we going to be using for this one? Linen for the quilting. So where's my linen? Where are you at, linen? Oh, it's already on my machine. So we're going to use the linen for quilting. I think the one with the line fit through it is linen. Yes, it's called cream, which is the equivalent of linen. And then color doesn't matter. The circle is wildflower. My wildflower is on the top of my machine, so I'm going to use that one. And ruby. So here's the darker of the reds. Here's the ruby. So I'm just going to move this, and I'll put ruby right there. Linen. We've got both pink lemonade and taffy. Should I be writing this in? Probably. Where's my pen? Wildflower. I lost my pen. Oh, look, here's more thread under here too. Where did I put my pen? Here it is. Okay. So we've got linen. I'm going to call WF Wildflower. 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 And then we have Wildflower. This is all ruby with the heart. Ruby. Pink lemonade. Taffy. And that's it. Okay, so we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my thread away after I throw it on the ground. Let's go ahead and load our design. So I'm going to grab my spreadsheet. We're going embroidery, pocket. I'm going to go here to my USB, Quilty Christmas, background quilting. And for stamps, we're doing Christmas 16, 4x6 vertical. Christmas 16. 4x6 vertical. We used that one already. I think, did we use that for the letter? And let's add. And to this, we are going to add the stamps. So I'm going to go to my USB, my Quilty Christmas folder, and my PES designs, and sending holiday wishes. And we are looking for the one that this one right here that says stamps. So go ahead and select that. Go ahead and hit set. Leave it centered. And we're going to touch embroidery to combine the two designs. Let's do that. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to flip it so that layout, rotate. And the reason we're doing it in this page is because now the background quilting and the design on top are one. I'm going to scoot them up. And while I'm at it, I'm going to scoot them over. So now we're utilizing this to the best of our ability. I'm going to put these colors down here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put my pink lemonade in there. And we're going to do our quilting stitch first. I'm going to put my other colors away. I'm going to also pick up the one I dropped on the ground, because if you leave it there, Miss Piranha Poppy will find it. And we could have done this in the, I think we could have done this in the 5x7 too if we wanted. Let's just do it here. So here is our placement line. I'm going to grab my fabric and give it all a shot of spray. So here we go. The pink, the cream, the batting, and the background fabric. I'm using my dime spray tent. And remember, you have a nubbier side. That's your wrong side. That's the side that you want to spray that goes down on the fabric. Let me grab my spray. I'm going to grab the thread I dropped on the ground too while I'm at it. Okay, here we go. Here's the spray I use, KK Gold 100. It's my favorite. Here's my spray tent, dime spray tent. This keeps the spray from going all over the room. I don't want that thread laying there. Don't get too crazy. I don't know if you can see that, but it's barely coming out. I don't know if you can hear it, but just enough where it's going to stick down, but not enough where it's going to make everything sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. I'm going to center my background fabric over that. Make sure there's nothing like this thread right here. Pull that out of the way. You can feel, just make sure there's about 1/2 inch all the way around. You're going to have more like an inch, inch and a half. And we are going to skip some steps. So to get there, I'm going to get out of this page right here. I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to go to this button, which is minus and plus stitches or whole thread colors. That's the tack down for the batting. We don't need it. That's the placement stitch for the background. We don't need that. And we want that orange tack down for the background. And I am going to do this. And it usually starts in the upper left-hand corner, but since I rotated it, it's starting in a different corner. That's all that is. And then we're going to do our quilting stitch. So the quilting stitch calls for, where is that thread? It's like pulled all the way across the room. Hang on. Let me wind it up. Oh my goodness. It's one of those threads that is like all over the room. Have you ever like caught a thread on your leg and next thing you know you're dragging it all around the room and you don't even know where it is, what it's from? Okay, we're going to use linen. So I'm going to take out my pink lemonade. I was just using a color that I could see. I had a thread like that the other day and I couldn't find it, so I just broke it. I was like, we must end the madness. And go ahead and do the quilting stitch. It's going to be 3 minutes of stitching. And then we're going to start the embroidery. after we're done with the quilting, first thing we're going to do is we're going to peel the plastic film from the glitter. That's for your red glitter. Mine's already peeled away. I'm using a piece that was just in my stash. I think we're going to use such a tiny little piece for the bow on the candy cane, and I have this big, huge, gorgeous piece. But pull off that plastic transfer sheet. It's just the clear plastic on top of it. I think the first time I ever used it, I left it on. I just didn't get it. All right, and then we're going to load the embroidery design. We've already done that. We're going to stitch the stamp 1 placement line, and I think we are going to lay down the cream color first. So that's what's going to go down first, and it's going to go over on this side, then we'll lay down the pink. I wonder how they design these. If like they draw it and then there's some kind of program that tells it how to stitch. All right, I'm going to leave that cream in. I know it's going to be a little hard to see, but it's going to stitch like a square. And that's how you know what you're going to put down. So there's the left side, or the right side of the square, the top, the left, and the bottom. We had a big discussion today all about using our scan and cut. And I keep talking about doing it, and I haven't because I'm a big chicken. But the ladies, I think they have me almost convinced. I've just got to do it. So they were all talking about how they, so put your fabric down. Now we're going to do the tack down, and then we're going to trim. They were just talking about how they stabilize it, how they, what fusible web they use, how they color group, and then Miss Kim was telling me how she likes to, she's got a spreadsheet, and I was like, oh my God, you had me at spreadsheet. Okay, we're going to go ahead and trim. This is step 2, stitch the tack down, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So just kind of pull that back. And this is going to look a little different because they have theirs set vertically and I rotated mine so it's now horizontal. Sorry, hitting my filming arm. Sorry about that. Here we go. I want to get my homework done. I like to, when I start working on something, I get really excited. And then the further away I am for it, the less excited I am. So, okay, now we're going to do, slide the hoop on. Now we're going to do the placement line for the pink stamp. So you should have this fabric right here. And just watch. I know it's hard to see, but I'm stitching in linen, so it is blending in with the background, but I see where it is. We're going to place this down over it. Place the stamp 2 fabric right side up. There we go. And I sprayed it so it's going to stick. And I don't spray a lot just so it doesn't move around. So right now it is doing this step right here, and then we're going to trim. And I know mine is sideways, so it just did the cream, and now it's doing the pink. So I did turn mine, so it's going to look a little different than the pictures you're seeing. And then we're going to trim this fabric. That is going to be step number 4. Stitch the tack down we did, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So let's come on in and we are going to trim it. My beloved Patrick is on his mountain bike ride, which is what he needs for his sanity. All right. Let's turn the page, or actually we're just going to flip over here. So we're going to stitch the Stamp 2 candy cane fill linen. I already have that in there. I'm just going to hit start. 3 minutes of stitching. It's going to do the candy cane. So just imagine it's like this, and it's doing that right side. And then we're going to put in wildflower, and it's going to do step 6, 7, and 8. Stitch the Stitch the Stamp 2 candy cane stripes fill 2 and outline. And then this is going to be the bow with the glitter. So step 7, we're going to be placing that bow and glitter down. Just let it go. This is a 37-minute stitch out, so there's actually quite a bit of stitching that goes with this. Okay, next step. We're on step number 5, and we're going to stitch the Stamp 2 candy cane stripes, and that's going to be in wildflower. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my linen thread. Let me get my wildflower. I'm using my king cone because he's so big and chunky. We should use him. And he lives up on top. All right, go ahead and just hit start. This is 2 minutes of stitching, and then we're going to put down the glitter bow. Okay, that was step number 6. So right here, it sewed the stripes. Now we're going to do the placement line for the bow. So just go ahead and hit start. And then we're going to grab our glitter. And it's small. So sometimes I'll spray my glitter. But like, look how tiny that is. It's so itsy bitsy. Maybe it's a good one to put like right up here. I'm just going to kind of hold it down and let it stitch. You want, let's see, is that going to be enough? Nope. Let's check over here. Nope. I'm going to put it like this because I want enough where I can trim. And I like to have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I'm just going to do it right here. I just want to make sure I have enough. Ready? You don't want to struggle. I'm just going to do it right here. There we go. We'll do it like that. Do you have enough on the top? Yes. We should have plenty. And bump it up. Sides. This side. Ooh, bump it over. Okay, here we go. Perfect. And then it says, trim the glitter as desired. And you know what that means to me. Trim the glitter as desired to me means using the curved straight scissors so you can control where you're trimming. So I'm going to take this off and let's put this like that. And I like to go probably about 1/8 of an inch around. And it says then we're going to use our iron, but I'll do that later. When I press the whole thing out, then I'll go ahead and I will, and I don't like sharp edges. Da, 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 da. I'm having trouble seeing it right, you know, when you do it in the matching color. It might not look great. Might be amazing though. Okay, and then we just have to do this one last side. Go ahead and turn that. I don't like I said, I don't like sharp corners, so I will often just trim them. Did I do that okay? That looks okay. It doesn't look perfect, but I like it when it's not perfect. Okay, fluff your fabric. Anytime you take it off and you slide it back on, make sure you fluff your fabric and nothing's turned under. And now it wants us to do stitch the stamp 2 bow, tack down, trim the glitter as desired. This is raw edge. I'll press it later when I press the whole thing. And now it's going to stitch the stamp to 25-cent detail. Go ahead and do that. You got to be careful of this one because it's small, and if you see the white thread, we're going to stop, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put in, looks good. I'm not seeing any white. Then you would put in a matching red bobbin. And then after this, we're going to put in our wildflower. Not wildflowers, but ruby. Ruby goes in next. And ruby's just like a little bit of a deeper red. Cute. And when we put in the ruby, that's going to be a lot of stitching. The ruby's going to stitch out the Stamp 2 bow loop fill, the Stamp 2 scalloped satin outline, and the Stamp 1 quilt block fill. So we've got a lot of ruby. It's going to do the red around here, the bow loop fill. No, that's raw edge. So the bow loop fill, not quite sure. I'll have to see it once it does it. And then it's going to do the scallop satin outline, and it's going to do all of the quilting over here. So I'm going to take out my wildflower. Wildflower. Okay, I'm going to wind it up so it's not hanging down. Because you know me, I don't use the little rubber stopper that I think it was Betty who told me that that's what that was for. I love it when I learn something because I don't read the manual. And some of you do. And then you tell me what... what stuff is for. I do the bare minimum with my, here we go. I do the bare minimum with my thread stand. I just like take the thread up and over and down. Okay, so we're going to do this first. Then we're going to do the outline on the stamp, and then we're going to do all of the quilting stitch on the left side. There's a lot of this because we're only 12 minutes in. 12 minutes in, which means we have 25 more minutes of stitching. I'm excited I'm getting this done. It's like early 6:41. That's early to me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit start. It's going to do the edge. That is 9 minutes of stitching. too. There, we are more than a quarter done, right? Okay, just keep going. Just let it stitch. right, we're almost done with this bottom part. Sorry about the dogs. They have been kicked out. And then we have to do the quilting stitch on the other side. So we've got quite a bit of this to go. I've just been walking around cleaning my room. It needs it. It needs it bad. Why don't we talk about needles? These are my two favorite needles. So these are the Oregon 7511 anti-glue. And so there's some kind of coating on it that makes it so they pass through any sticky stuff and doesn't stick to it as much. What was I going to say about these? They are made by, there's other needles and they sell the same ones. They're anti-glue needles. These are priced the best and they're the same exact ones. And what I love about these two, and 7511 is my favorite size because bigger needle, bigger hole. So 7511, the next size up is going to be 8012. The next size up is going to be 9014. And I always go, the bigger the needle, the bigger the hole. So I like to keep it small. However, if you need it, sometimes you need something for maybe it's heavier or you're sewing through heavier fabric, then you might want to go to the 9014. So as far as embroidery needles go, embroidery needles are slightly ballpoint. So they're made so you can switch between woven fabric and, I'm just going to hit start, woven fabric and knit fabric. Like I said, they're slightly ballpoint. Now, there is no such thing as an 8012 embroidery needle. They just don't make them. I don't know why. So the next size up would be a 9014 embroidery needle. And we do sell anti-glue 9014 needles in the store. I tend to go to an 8012 because this would be like a small, a medium, a 9014 would be a large. And I love Microtex needles. Now, Microtex needles are extra sharp. So when a needle's going through the fabric, there is a little bit of rebound where it pushes down and then goes through your fabric. A Microtex is extra sharp, so it tends to just go and pierce it easier, and you have less, like, sometimes your stitches will ladder. They'll kind of go in at a diagonal because they get the weave of the fabric might push it one way or the other. But with the Microtex, that tends to be a straighter stitch. So as far as piecing goes, this is my go-to needle. I use a Microtex, an 8012 Microtex needle. That's what I tend to piece with. I also use it for embroidery. So if I want to go size up for my 7511, then I go to a 8012. But this might not be the best needle to embroider on your knits. Your wovens, you can embroider on them all day, every day. So a lot of times I'll just put an 8012 needle in and I'll use it for my piecing and I'll use it for my embroidery. I love this. This to me is the best all-round needle. A Microtex 8012. And that's me, though. There's some people, like Michelle Burrett, she's a universal gal. She loves a universal needle, and universal needle is slightly ballpoint. So for me, embroidery, I am 7511 all day, all the way. Piecing and embroidery, I love my Microtex 8012 needle. And like, this is what I tend to use the most. Now this isn't all I use because I love a top stitch needle, and a top stitch needle has a bigger eye. And it seems like a top stitch needle is kind of like a, I don't know, if you're having issues and your thread and things are being finicky, you can put a 9014 top stitch needle in. That seems to solve all my problems. So I love a 9014 top stitch. I'll use a 9014 Microtex for quilting. So, you know, there's other needles, but these two are the ones that I tend to use the most. But I don't do a lot of thick stuff, you know? Okay, this is 6 total minutes of stitching. I'm probably about, I don't know, a third of the way through, so we probably have about 4 minutes of stitching left. And how I get my numbers, if you're on this page, and this is the page where you can skip forward and back. This is the one where we hit the needle down at the bottom and it has a minus and plus. So it'll show you what it's stitching out. It will tell you how long it's taking. And if you have a machine that has a progress bar, you can get an idea of how much time is left in the whole embroidery or just that color, a visual, I guess, you know, summarization of that. And then here on the top, I can tell that I'm 24 minutes into my 37-minute stitch out. I'm on step 17 of 20 steps, and then this tells me my stitch count. So there's all the information you need, and we're just going to keep on stitching. After we finish this, we're going to put in, oh, guess what? We're going to do some more ruby. So it's stitching this out right now, step 12. Step 13 is ruby as well. It's going to stitch out the word joy. Then we're going to switch to pink lemonade to do the 25 cents. And then Taffy is going to do the outline of that stamp. So a little bit more. Little bit more, and then we're going to stitch out. I'm waiting for Patrick to come home so I can drag him to the store. Stitching until my beloved comes home. This will be the next one, sending holiday wishes gift, and here's all the fabric for that. We got a little ways to go. I used to buy the Madeira anti-glue needles, but the difference between those, I want to say they're either $1 more, but like this part is exactly the same. They say Oregon, I mean, it is exactly the same as this, but the card it's on says Madeira and it was more expensive. And then they also sell, I think it's Best Premium needles. And this part right here is exactly the same, but the card it's on is different. It says Best Premium, and they're $8.99. So the Oregon needles that have the Oregon that looks just like this, but it's on the Oregon card, they're cheaper. But it's the same needle. So they sell this same Oregon needle on a Madeira card, on an Oregon card, and a Best Premium. And that's why I get these free, because they're $6.99. We at our store we sell like we buy, and it's the same needle. They're just on different cards and they charge more. So I'm always looking to bring you the best deal. Okay, just go ahead and hit start. You're gonna leave that same ruby in. We're gonna stitch out the word joy. I love my wall of scissors. Have you seen my new wall of scissors? So I got these hooks. And the other thing I got is I bought these, oops, hooked on the cord. So not only did I get the hooks, but I got these little baskets. Aren't those great? And so now any of the other stuff just goes into the little baskets. And they're just absolutely fantastic. This has been so much better for me than my basket, because in my basket I had to dig through it to find what I needed, and now it's on this little wall and I love it. Those were just I think they're just command hooks. That's all they are. Command hooks. Okay, get your pink lemonade out. That's next. Pink lemonade. Look at that. I have gone through my pink lemonade. This might be a king cone color. When you buy king cone, I'm going to do a special on white king cones because guess what? I bought white mini cones to put in a kit. At least I thought I did. And then when it showed up, it was king cones. I accidentally selected the wrong size. So I'm going to put those on the site and we'll do them at like 25% off. But one king cone is equal to 5 mini cones. There we go. I can't remember if it's, let's see. A king cone has 5,500 yards on it. And a mini cone has 1,100 yards. So you're getting 5. This is equal to 5 mini cones. So it's kind of like, and these are $15.99 and the mini cones are $5 a piece. So it's like buying 3 mini cones and then paying an extra $1 for 2 extra mini cones. Does that make sense? So we're going to be doing a special. Oh, is that the right color? Yes. We're going to do a special on those white king cones because I bought a lot of them. I'm going to do them at 15% off. I mean 25. Okay, we're going to put in the taffy. That's going to do the outline of the joy stamp. And then we're done. Done. The dogs are crying outside because they want to come in. But they're naughty. They're not really naughty. Momo loves the sound of his voice. Okay. Once this is done, this is 9 minutes of stitching, and then we're done with this block. We're going to work on the gift next one. This was the one where, remember, we're fine, but that's all the fabric I had. I miscut. I cut wrong. We are almost done. Got like a minute left of stitching. Nope. Sorry, wrestling. And there we go. We are done with, I think this one was called stamps. And we're ready to go on to the next one. So let's go ahead and rehoop. Here we go. You see all those cords and wires. Let me put this over here. Uh-oh. She's looking. She's on the hunt. She's on the hunt. I'm going to rehoop. Next one that we're going to do. Should we just put it in, I'm just going to do it on this. So we are going to do both of these, the gift and the mailbox, 4x4, 5x7. Should we do it? Because we can do it this way. You know what I mean? We can go 5x7 this way. Actually, that will definitely be better than the 5x7. And this we could do in this hoop. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop up my 5x7. Guess what? It's already hooped and ready to go because I had it hooped from before. We're hooped up. I'm going to go ahead and slide this onto my machine. We've got our fabric. Let's look at our colors. I'm going to write those in right now. Let's turn the page. It's always easier to write when it's on something flat. So this color right here, the hexagon, that one is olive green, which is basil. That's going to be our basil. Color doesn't matter. So it says choose a neutral thread color. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. And then right here is going to be wildflower. We're going to do WF. The triangle, is that sage? The triangle is sage. So these two are sage, sage, ruby. Can you see that at all? This one is ruby. And this one is pink lemonade. And pink lemonade. And I think we're good. So let's go ahead and stitch it out. We're going to start off by, where's my basil? This one is basil right here. So basil, we need pink lemonade, ruby, wildflower. Here is wildflower, ruby, and sage. Here's my sage. And I think those are the colors we're going to use. All right. Let's come on over here. I'm just going to grab, hops. I'm grabbing the sage right now because it's kind of a neutral color, right? Not too dark. I'm going to say, okay, that's going to clear the screen. Change to a larger embroidery frame. All right. She's just barking at nothing right now. Patrick told me if they were being disruptive, I should just crate them, but I just can't do it because I'm home. Let's slide this on. Actually, I'm not going to slide it on. I am going to say okay to clear my screen. I'm going to go embroidery. Embroidery. We're going to go pocket. We are doing gift. And so it's wavy 9 4x4. We want Quilty Christmas, background quilting, wavy 9, embroidery files. Mine are PES, and there's my 4x4. I'm just going to go ahead and set it. I'm going to add, and now I'm going to add the gift box. So there's Quilty Christmas. I'm going to my PES designs, select the quilt that you're working on, and is it this one? Oh no, it's the present. It's this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and select that, and we're going to set it. It's centered. You're just going to leave it the way it is. Let's go ahead and choose our hoop size. Right now it's on 5x7, and we're going to do, 7x12. We're going to select the 5x7. Say okay. Actually, did you see that? Settings. We can go 900 stitches per minute, so I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to go embroidery. I'm going to touch embroidery because it will combine my two designs, and then I'll move them. Layout, move, scoot it up. My hoop's on, so it's not going to go outside my embroidery field. I can save all of this muslin down below. We're going to say okay. And now we're going to go to this button right here where we go minus and plus stitches, and that's going to allow us to skip steps. So we are going to do the first step, which is going to be placement for our batting. And then we center our batting to our background fabric to this. I've gotten some notes where people say the videos have helped them become more confident. And I love that because sometimes you don't know what you're doing, right? Like I didn't know what I was doing the first time I did Jingle All the Way, and it's still not done to this day. I'm going to spray the back of all my fabric. Oh, look it. I never put Shape Flex on that. So give me a second. I'll be right back. I think there was a note here because I needed to do that. All right, I'm back, and I have added Shape Flex to the back of this. And now I'm going to go ahead and spray all of my little bits and pieces. Let's go ahead and spray the back of this one. I think my background. Oh, look, I didn't even stitch anything. Let's go ahead and stitch first. Let's stitch our placement line. Did I? Yes. I was making sure I bumped that up as far up as I could. That down. I'm gonna put, I wasn't worried about that little corner not being there because look how much, you just always have so much room. And that's my background fabric. We're gonna skip some steps. That's the tack down for the batting, placement for the background. Oh, actually no, that was this is the tack down for the background. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and let's put in a color that's going to be high contrast. Whoop. That is how often do I do that? That's just something I do. Because it's the tack down, you know what? I did 2 stitches. I'm just going to go ahead and go from there because that's like the little lock. So we'll be okay. If it was an applique stitch and I had to trim, I would have redone it. Now I'm going to put in the basil. Basil's the color we're going to use for the quilting. And here comes the little quilting stitch. That little thread got dragged along. Just going to pull it out. And looks like we're going to use some more red glitter, and I still have mine out. So here we are right here, block by block, everything's centered. After quilting, go to the embroidery instructions. So they want you to peel the plastic from the glitter. You should have a piece that's 2.5 by 2, but I'm using some leftover. And then we're gonna stitch the stamp placement line. The first thing that's gonna go down is gonna be the white. So it's gonna, or the cream background. I'm gonna leave that color in. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit start. My fabric is already sprayed. And you need that shape flex. Again, that shape flex is gonna keep the background from shadowing through. Like, you don't wanna see the green shadowing through your cream fabric. All right. There we go. All right. Next step. Stitch the box placement line. That's the stamp. And now we're going to do the box placement line. I'm going to leave the same color, and now we're going to lay down our red glitter. Color doesn't make a difference again, so I'm just going to leave this. And this one they want you to trim close to the stitch line. So I'm not going to get too crazy, because it's when it says close to the stitch line, usually there's going to be some kind of applique stitch. So there we go. And it says to press it. I will press it later. Stitch the lid placement line. So I'm going to go ahead and do the lid. And we are going to lay down that green piece of fabric. This is 18 minutes of stitching, so it's pretty quick. And you should have a piece of fabric that looks like this. I mean, come on, how many lids can you get out of this? We could probably get like 10. But let's place it. It's always nice to not have to worry about being exact. And then we're going to trim this, and then we're going to do all our satin stitching. Here we go. So first thing we're going to do, wildflower, and that is going to be the box satin outline. So I'm going to go ahead and put my wildflower in. All right, let's go ahead and put sage in. Okay, this is going to be the lid satin outline. We are now doing step number 8, which goes around here. Then we're going to do the holly leaves and sage. We're going to do the berries in ruby, the 25 in ruby, and then we'll finish it all off with the pink bow and the frame that goes around the stamp. And these are small, so a lot of it's going to go really fast. I think what's going to take the longest is going to be the outline of the stamp. Sorry, Patrick's home. Daddy's home. Dogs are excited. I apologize for that. Now we're going to do the holly leaves. Just go ahead and hit start again. Again, it's another minute. Okay, I'm going to put in Ruby. Oop, got a little loop there. Loop-de-loop. We'll have to just trim it. Not a big deal. We have so many great scissors for that. I know. I'm so impatient, right? Okay, that's like trying to shoot a moving target. Oh, those are so cute. They're like, you got to see them in person. They're like raised and they're just so adorable. Okay, hit start one more time. You're going to do the 25 cents. So we just did these little holly berries, Now we're stitching out the 25 cents. We'll do the bow, and then we're going to do the stamped outline. All right, and now we're going to do 9 minutes of stitching to go around the outside of the stamp. So just let it go.